contrary to what you might believe, we're not looking at objet d'art here on PPMA TV. We're looking at some pretty heavy-duty equipment, with heavy being the operative term here. Here to tell me more is Grant from Winkworth. Grant, what are these, first of all?
Well, these we call Zed Blades. You need 2 Zed Blades in a kneader mixer. And kneader mixers are widely used around the world in making, in particular, things like chewing gum, stiff pastes and gums. These 2 blades will go into a machine. They are component parts of a current machine that we have on our order book to go to Italy as an export order to make chewing gum. They're solid stainless steel. They're a 316 grade stainless steel, which is widely used in the food industry. They're cast to a pattern that we have in a foundry here in the UK, which is good. And then they come to our factory, and we machine the ends. We polish them, get them to size, make sure that they're ready for the motor and the gearboxes that go on the end, and then they become the integral part of the machine. A machine like this will last well in excess of 30 years. And in fact, we make machines for clients who almost insist that that's the design requirement. We've got a number of customers that have come back to us year after year for the longevity that we design into our machine, the robustness, and these are robust, as you can see. Nothing's shaking, nothing's moving. They're solid stainless steel. The robustness is one of the reasons why clients come back to us.
And I did try and lift up one of these a moment ago, and this isn't a 2-person lift. You know, this is like more like a 10-person lift.
You can rotate these on this PTFE slides. We had this cradle made, for the exhibition, so we could demonstrate some of these blades, but also as a handling device back in the factory. And we've got an undergraduate that started with us last year, who did his industrial placement with us, who designed this stand. He's designed it to be extendable, so that if we have different size chambers, we can use different size blades. So although it's an exhibition stand here, it's actually going to be functional in our factory.
And in terms of size there, is this as large as your blades get, or do you spec larger as well?
No, this is these blades are suited to a 250-litre mixing machine. We've got in our factory at the moment for a client in Belgium a 2,600-litre machine, which all up weight of the machine is in about 12 tonnes. So it's really quite a substantial bit of equipment. That one's going for the recycling industry. It's quite an interesting project. That's going to recycle the polymer flake that's sandwiched between your windscreens.
Wow, who knew? What we haven't covered is exactly what Winkworth does. I mean, obviously, we've got some pretty impressive machinery that we've alluded to here, but just give us a nutshell of the scope of Winkworth work.
So Winkworth established in 1924. We're 95 years old this year, looking forward to our 100th in 5 years. We design and make industrial mixers bespoke. So we're an engineer-to-order company. So we've got really good technical specialists who will go and listen to a client and say, what do you want to do? How much do you want to do? When do you want to do it? How often are you going to change recipes? What's the need that you have? We'll design based on a configuration that's common to us, but a unique approach for that client. And that process quite often takes 2 to 3 months to get the engineering right. When an order's placed and money exchanged, then we'll get on and we'll design. And our lead time's probably anything from 16 to 50 weeks, depending on the complexity of the project. But we work in all industries: food, pharmaceutical, industrial, chemical. There's nowhere, and probably in the UK, if it's been mixed, it's probably been mixed in a Winkworth. Our legacy is that strong, and we kind of believe that we're the Hoover of mixing, if you like.
You brought some other machinery here as well, just because it's spinning around and it's quite visual. Let's take a quick look at this little machine here.
So in 2008 I joined the company, and when I joined the company I was the first non-Winkworth managing director of the business. It was been a family business for 3 generations. When I joined the company I took some shareholding and I've taken the company into a slightly different direction, much more bespoke machinery design and manufacture. And in 2013 I was joined by Bastian Suterman, who's Lindor owner, and this is a Lindor machine, a cylindrical drum mixer, which complements our range. It's made in Holland, this one, and we represent them in the UK, but they represent us in Holland and in other places around the world. This one is a very gentle mixer, ideal for making blends which don't require shear. When shear breaks things, so if you imagine tea leaves, if you were tea leaf blending, the leaves would get broken and you end up with small leaf rather than large leaf, and large leaf implies quality, so you want to mix them gently. So that mixer is ideal for mixing gentle products, things that are fragile. That can extend into chemical applications as well, super absorbent polymers and so on.
Where's the growth in this industry for you at the moment? Where are the areas that you're looking to possibly see growth in and maybe move into? Obviously not looking for any trade secrets here, but where do you see this bit of the industry going for you?
We've found that our intellectual property knowledge and applying that knowledge in the Zed Blades that you saw just a moment ago, the technology behind those is quite complex and needs quite a lot of understanding. That understanding we are able to reflect in our machine designs, and it's not easy for competitors to reverse engineer from the physical, because they maybe, buying one of those machines to strip it apart is quite expensive, and then understanding why it's used and where it's used is also, comes with knowledge and time. Our other more perhaps commercially obvious machinery is competed with, and we do see competition from overseas. If we sell into China, then we might sell one, but that might be the last one we sell, because the engineering, whilst it's got intellectual property in it in the first instance, reverse engineering it is more readily achieved. So we're finding the opportunity for us in areas where reverse engineering and exploiting our depth of intellectual property is greatest.
Really interesting stuff. Listen, Grant, we're almost out of time, but before we go, just tell us about PPMA Show, why it's important for you to be here, to be seen at this event in Birmingham every year.
We're here at the PPMA. This is the place that we can represent ourselves in the UK. We see many of our customers that have been here before. They expect to find us here. They know they don't necessarily need us to invite them personally, because they expect us to be here. We're a stalwart of the show. We will be here forever. The show's better this year. I think the whole hall is sold out. 11,000 square metres as I understand it. The carpets are good, it's always clean, it's always well prepared, and we enjoy it. We like to see our colleagues, our friends and our customers.
Grant, thank you very much indeed for joining us here on PPMA TV. I wish you all the very best luck for the show and hope to see you again next year.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.